Why did the Agra Fort repeatedly witness battles for usurping the throne? In India, there is a famous palace located in Agra, known as the Agra Fort. Agra was the capital of ancient India, where the Agra Fort and the Taj Mahal, two internationally renowned structures, are situated. However, despite the grandeur of these buildings, the stories that unfolded within them are lamentable. The Agra Fort was built by Emperor Akbar for his beloved son Jahangir. Akbar is considered the true founder of the Mughal Empire and its greatest emperor. At that time, both of Akbar's sons had passed away early, which left the emperor grief-stricken. In order to have a healthy son, he specifically went to the village of Sikri to seek blessings from a saint. Soon after returning to the palace, Akbar's wife became pregnant and gave birth to Jahangir after 10 months. Akbar was delighted and sought blessings from the saint once again, who prophesied that the new prince would inherit the throne. Consequently, Akbar's affection for Jahangir knew no bounds. He constructed the Agra Fort with vast amounts of red sandstone as a grand gift to his son, as well as for military defense and future planning. However, Jahangir was ungrateful. Upon reaching adulthood, he constantly coveted the throne. Initially, he conspired with the Portuguese to declare himself king, and later sought to eliminate the prominent ministers around his father. Akbar agonized over his son's behavior but repeatedly forgave him, believing that the throne would eventually be Jahangir's. Why would he deprive his son of his right to succession? In the year 1605 AD, the ailing Akbar passed the throne to Jahangir and then passed away. Jahangir, having achieved his desire, was very excited. He preferred marble, so he ordered the Agra Fort to be rebuilt with white marble. Part of his motivation was also personal. He felt that the red fortress symbolized his father, and he did not want to live in his father's shadow. Perhaps due to his many misdeeds, Jahangir also faced betrayal from his own son. His eldest son, Khusrau, conspired to seize the throne, and Jahangir had to personally lead the army to defeat him. However, in a fit of narrow-mindedness, he blinded Khusrau and imprisoned him. Consequently, this unlucky prince was poisoned by his own brother, Jahangir's third son, 17 years later. Another driving force for Jahangir to ascend the throne was his newfound ability to reunite with his lifelong love, and also his deepest wound, a Persian woman named Nur. Nur's family was poor, and Akbar opposed his son's marriage to her. Nur had no choice but to marry someone else and settle in Bengal. After Jahangir ascended the throne, he fabricated charges against Nur's husband, had him killed, and finally married Nur, who could now bring her daughter to marry Jahangir. Nur was not only beautiful but also extremely ambitious. As soon as she became queen, she sought to wield power herself. To achieve this, she first made her father and brothers influential figures in the empire, then married her daughter to Jahangir's fourth son. Her next task was to ensure that her son-in-law became the next king. Nur was jealous of Jahangir's illustrious son, Shah Jahan, and constantly incited discord, eventually leading Shah Jahan to rebellion. However, Jahangir was too powerful, and Shah Jahan was no match for him, forcing him to flee into exile. 2 years later, Shah Jahan handed over his two sons to his father as hostages, and father and son were reconciled. Seeing that her plot had failed, Nur seethed with hatred. She devised another plan, causing one of the emperor's trusted confidants to rebel. As a result, Jahangir was imprisoned. Though he was eventually rescued, he fell seriously ill and passed away before returning to the palace. Shah Jahan's father-in-law was Nur's brother, and to support his son-in-law's ascension to the throne, this uncle imprisoned his own sister. Thus, Shah Jahan became the next emperor. The new emperor Shah Jahan particularly loved marble. He also ordered the reconstruction of the Agra Fort, ultimately transforming the fortress into a magnificent structure with red and white alternating colors. Since then, no emperor has possessed the architectural talent like Shah Jahan's. The appearance of the Agra Fort has remained unchanged to this day. Fate played its hand, And Shah Jahan also fell victim to his son's usurpation. In the last 9 years of his life, he was placed under house arrest by his third son, Aurangzeb, until he passed away with resentment. Why did the Agra Fort repeatedly become entangled in the vicious cycle of father-son power struggles? Is there a curse within it? Perhaps the curse indeed exists, and that is the thirst for power, which turns all familial bonds to ashes.